Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more." Oh, distinctly I remember it was in a bleak December, and each separate dying ember wove its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books or keys of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here for evermore.
And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some late visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber's door. Some late visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber's door. This it is, and nothing more."
Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping in my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more."
Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely there is something on my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more."
Upon here I flung the shutter with many a flirt and flutter. In there stepped stately raven of the saintly days of yore, but not a lot of not a obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, just burst open my chamber door, burst up on a palace of bust of palace, just burst my chamber door, burst and said and nothing more.
Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern, though thy crest be shorn and shaven. I said, "Art shorn no craven." Ghastly dream and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Platonian shore. Quoth the raven, "Nevermore."
Much I marvelled this ungainly foe to hear this source so plainly, foe did answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore.
But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid path, spoke only that one word, as if he saw in that one word he did the bird. Nothing farther than he uttered, nothing better than he portrayed, till I scarcely more than muttered. Other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as all my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, "Nevermore."
Startled at a stillness, broken by reply, so reply spoken depthless, said I. What it utters is its own stock and store, caught from some unnamed master, one unmerciful disaster, followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore.
But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking, fancy unto fancy thinking, what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking nevermore.
This I said ended in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the foe whose fairy eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I said divining, with my head at easy reclining. On the cushion's velvet lining with a lamplight glowed it over, but whose velvet lining with a lamplight glowed it over? She shall press, nevermore.
Then, whether the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, sung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on a tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God heavenly, by these angels he hath sent thee. Respite, respite, and append thee from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff this can append thee, and forget this lost Lenore. Quaff the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, said I think of evil, prophet, still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tools thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there bone in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven nevermore.
Prophet, said I, think of evil. Prophet still, if bird or devil. By that heaven that bends above us, by the God we both adore, tell the soul sorrow laden, if without the distance aiden, shall clasp a sated maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven nevermore.
Be the word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's plutonic shore. Leave no black plume as a token of the lie I so have spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming, throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow, that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore.